Hi everyone, it's Goddess Enchantments here, and today I'm going to do a highly requested video on black tourmaline. Now, every time someone requests a video from me, I make a little note of it in my notebook. And in the past couple months, I have had 30 people ask me to do a video specifically about black tourmaline. Now, I think this really, says a lot about this crystal, about the energy in the field right now, because so many people are interested in this stone and so many people are drawn to it. And I've watched a lot of YouTube videos out there about black tourmaline because I've worked with it for years. It is one of my favourite stones. And I've found the ones that I've seen anyway a bit lacking. So I'm hoping in this video we can go over things a bit more in depth, get you a bit more information. We're also going to cover green tourmaline and pink tourmaline, just to add a bit of variety and extra information on where you can go with the different tourmalines. If you would like to learn about other tourmalines after this, let me know and we can kind of do a little series or something. So first of all, the obvious one, black tourmaline. Now, all the tourmalines grow with quartz, so you will often find them in shops with either quartz veining on them, on the matrix, but you do find black tourmaline without matrix a lot more common than, say, pink, for example. So there's three, if you like, ways that you'll find it in shops that are most common, and that is tumbled, which we have here. Now, tumbled tourmaline, black tourmaline, is different to a lot of other black stones. People often say to me, how can I be sure it's tourmaline? Well, tourmaline will often have these cracks and divots in and around the side of them and over them. Don't think that this is damaged, so you shouldn't buy it, because it's not. It's just where the natural growth structure of this crystal doesn't lend itself to being tumbled in the same way that quartz does, for example, where you can get nice, smooth, beautiful pieces, which is why they make hearts out of them and spheres and different shapes. When you see black tourmaline spheres, you will usually see they have little dents out of them or small fissure crack areas, stuff like that, because this is just its natural growth structure that makes it extremely hard to polish and smooth. So there's tumbled, which is the most affordable. Then we have this natural piece. Now you can see the striations here. This is how it naturally grows and forms. I'm not going to go too much into the Mohs hardness and its formation, because you can easily get that information if you have any kind of crystal book or a quick Google. But black tourmaline is quite a friable crystal, which means it's a bit delicate. So if you're going to work with pieces like this, then there are some things to think about. Check to see if it's got any overhanging loose bits, because they will naturally break off. If you work with this form where you can really see the bar striations of the black tourmaline, and you want to do intensive work with it, working on removing old patterns, negative energy, protective energies, things like this, and the stone absorbs a lot of that, over time most people find it will crumble. Now, it's up to you whether that's something that you like and want from your crystal, or if it's not. Some people like it because they consider once it's crumbled and starts breaking, they bury it in the earth, they've done their work with it, it's completed its work, and then it goes back to the earth to be transmuted. Other people want a piece that they can work with for years and years. So do be aware that it really does absorb the energy, so you want to keep up a really good regime of clearing your stones when it comes to black tourmaline, and check to see if you're going to be worried if it does crumble away from intensive work with it. The most expensive way to buy is this higher grade. Now this is a natural bar, huge chunk of tourmaline. See, it is double terminated, which is what you'd be looking for. You can see the 3 and the point, and the same on the other end here. The sides, you can still see the striations, but they are smoother. Now this piece will hold up a lot better for long-term working with, but this is more expensive. This piece would set you back 30 to 40 pounds depending where you're buying it. So you might want to start with a smaller piece, see how you get on with it, and if you like black tourmaline before going for this sort of formation. But this is naturally formed. These points have not been polished on there. That's part of the natural crystal structure. And I do encourage you to look into crystal structures because it can really help you understand crystal growth patterns, and it's really interesting. If nothing else, have a little look because it is really interesting how crystals grow. So that's another piece. So that's what you're going to see when you go to shops, really. Occasionally you'll see a sphere. You'll rarely see palms and things like that out of it, simply because it is a more delicate stone and it is extremely hard to polish. So energy wise, the thing that everyone talks about straight away is black tourmaline for protection. Absolutely. It is exceptional for protective work of both your person, your physical self, your home, your property and things like your car. It's really good to protect you from negative energy. If you're empathic, it's an excellent protection stone. It helps clear any kind of negative thought patterns. If other people are sending you negativity, this is a wonderful stone to shield from that and to build a shield around your aura. If you want to use it to protect your home, you can grid inside the house. You can grid the 4 corners of your property outside your house with it. You can put a piece in your car to protect your car, carry it on your person, wear it. Again, you can find it as jewellery, usually wire wrapped raw pieces, natural pieces. It doesn't make good cabochons because of the cracks and the dents, so you won't often see cabochon jewellery, especially rings, because if it gets hit or knocked, it can be liable to scratch or just crack altogether. So for protection, we know it's great. If you're watching this video, you've probably heard of black tourmaline. You know it's a great stone for protection of pretty much all types. It's really strong for that. Now, that's where a lot of people stop, and that's where I find it a little bit frustrating. I don't know why people stop there. If it's, I don't know. Maybe they don't work with crystals a lot, or they're just not willing to look outside the box, or maybe it's what they were taught. But whatever it is, there's a lot more uses for black tourmaline, so I encourage you to explore it as a stone. Now, one of those uses is grounding. If you have a lot of air in your chart, if you're an air sign, then black tourmaline is a wonderful grounding stone for you, particularly if there's a lot of air in your chart. Then you will probably love this stone because it doesn't curb your creativity. It just stops your energy going off in 50 different directions and helps you direct it at one specific purpose so you can achieve your goals. So it's really good for that. It's good for grounding in general. If you have a lot of earth in your chart, I would say try a small piece and see how you get on with it. Some people with a lot of earth find it too grounding, in which case I would say go for petrified wood or almandine garnet, for example. But for most people, it is a really great grounding stone. Then we go out of the box even further, but into where black tourmaline really comes into its own. It's really exciting. I have had great results with clients over the years using black tourmaline in all sorts of ways. Now, a way to use black tourmaline, or example I can give you, is in a new love working. So whether you're working from a crystal healing, intention setting side of things, or a ritual spellcraft side of things, if you're going to attract a new relationship to yourself, you're going to usually go for rose quartz. It's the first thing that comes to people's minds. They go to it like a moth to a flame, and that's the love stone. But when we're working our intention setting or our ritual, it's important to look at why are you doing this ritual? Why are you setting this intention? And what has stopped you from achieving this intention so far? Because if you're doing a magical working or you're working with crystals for a reason, it's because you have not yet achieved that goal. So in the example of love, if you have always had destructive relationships, if you tend to attract people to you that rather than bring out the best in you, they bring out the worst in you. If you attract people to you that seem great to start with, but then become abusive or have very bad behaviours, then just doing a ritual, a simple love drawing ritual, may not be the most effective way to go for you. It's actually not what I would recommend. If someone came to me through God's enchantments, I would not recommend doing that. The reason for this is if you do a simple love attraction or simple intention setting for love, then of course you can attract someone that you're going to love. You loved all those other people, but a pattern has now set, a precedent has now set, and you need to break that going forward to change and shift the energy to get you the relationship you want. And this is where we can add in some black tourmaline. Now, of course, you're not going to have a piece of rose quartz this size and a piece of black tourmaline that size in your love drawing work, because that would be out of balance. But using a small piece of black tourmaline that's there for the specific purpose to protect you from repeating old patterns in love brings a new layer to your love working. It brings a new vibration. It means you are moving forward and you're not just going straight where you've been coming from. You've been coming straight along and now you're going to keep going straight but hope something changes. Now you're putting a curve. There's a bump in the road and you're choosing something different. And black tourmaline can help you do that. It helps you say, right, I want to attract new love, but I don't want to have the same situation again where I meet someone, they're great, I fall for them, 6 months down the line, they're bringing out the worst in me, I'm bringing out the worst in them. It's a destructive relationship. You have black tourmaline in your ritual, in your intention setting, for that reason, to stop that, to break that habit, to pretty much cut it off. But you've got your other love crystals, you've got your love essential oils or any other correspondences you're using, because in magic we often layer our correspondences so that we bring in different vibrations, but vibrations that are all aligned with our end goal. So that's another way you can use black tourmaline. If you are doing a ritual or working for emotional healing, then you may go for things such as rose quartz, chrysoprase, pink tourmaline, green tourmaline, bringing in the green and pink rays. But if you want to emotionally heal, there's also going to be some clearing to do. It's not always the case that we can come in, hit it with the emotional healing crystals, and that'll fix everything. If you have experienced abuse, if you have experienced trauma, then you're going to need to clear that energy. You're going to need to let go of those emotions. You're going to need to heal the negative pathways that have already happened. So you add in a piece of black tourmaline. You're not saying black tourmaline is a love crystal. You're not saying black tourmaline is an emotional healing crystal. But you are adding it in because it serves a different purpose. It's adding a layer to your ritual work that's going to make sure that the end thing that you manifest is what you truly want. And the universe isn't just taking the quickest route to get you a new love, but actually it's just going to be the same situation as before. So it's all about layering. So that's another use for black tourmaline, thinking outside the box, looking at spells. If you're doing one for money, but you have always had a really negative relationship with money, you gamble money away, you tend to invest money into things that at the time you think is fabulous and then you lose all that money, it's no good grabbing your citrine and then doing a ritual for abundance and calling in abundance energies if you're just going to take the money that comes in and do exactly the same thing again, because you're in the same position. You're not fixing the problem, you're just band-aiding it by funneling in some more money to it. So that's another situation. You could use some black tourmaline in your ritual to help stop those negative behaviors, so that it protects your money and protects you and shows you how to protect your money. So you're using the protective energies of tourmaline in so many different layers, in so many different ways. It's amazing when you actually sit down and think, where can I layer it? Where's it going to fit in? How can it help me manifest this in a quicker, more effective way to get what I actually want at the end of it? So that's another thing with black tourmaline. Black tourmaline helps relieve stress. If you are extremely stressed, if you have anxiety, black tourmaline calms the entire nervous system. It's a really wonderful stone. If you pair it with something like lepidolite or lithium quartz, something like that, then you've got a really powerful duo there. If you can't sleep due to stress, black tourmaline will bring you down and actually help you drop off to sleep. Now you can sleep with black tourmaline, unlike quartz, which it's not really recommended because it's such a high vibe stone. It can actually make you restless. Sorry, I'm getting croaky. But the one thing I will say is, if you're someone who likes to dream journal, who has vivid dreams or deliberately tries to have vivid dreams, does astral travel at night, then be wary of black tourmaline. Try it out and see, but it could be too grounding for you if you want to have those kind of experiences at night. But if you suffer with nightmares, if you suffer with stress stopping you from sleeping and stress-induced insomnia, give black tourmaline a try. So as you can see, there's tons of uses for black tourmaline. I could literally do like a 4-hour video about it, but that's what we're going to do for today. Now moving on to pink tourmaline, which is here. So we've gone up in price bracket because the most common type of tourmaline is black, and as we go through the colours they get rarer and more expensive. This is on the matrix, which is quartz. Like I said before, quartz grows with all the tourmalines. I find it makes your tourmaline more powerful because quartz is a magnifier and will magnify the energy of the pink tourmaline, and also any intention you set into this stone, anything you program into the stone. So pink tourmaline is a heart chakra stone. It is the stone you want if you want to connect with divine feminine energy, either in goddess work or your own divine feminine energy within. If you want to reconnect with yourself, then pink tourmaline's a wonderful stone for that. If you have emotional wounds, emotional healing to do, particularly childhood trauma or any kind of abuse trauma, then pink tourmaline would be the stone I would recommend for you for that kind of emotional healing, because it is so soothing, so comforting. It wraps a bubble around you. It is a really gentle emotional healer. So I would definitely bring that in if that's something you're working on. It also repairs the auric field. And helps, like I say, with the heart chakra, not just the healing but also the balancing. You want to bring that in, hold it over your heart chakra and meditate with it is a great way to use it. If you are looking to experience things in a different way, like love, like we were just talking about with a new love ritual or setting intentions for new love, if you have had traumatic relationships in the past, if things have gone wrong in the past, if you want to have a different experience of love, then pink tourmaline would be the crystal to use for that. If you want to experience emotions in a different way, if you've had a lot of negativity, you might want to pair your pink and your black together, because the black tourmaline will help you let go of those negative emotions, break those negative patterns, and the pink tourmaline will help you experience those emotions in a new positive way. So that's a little bit about pink tourmaline. And this here is green tourmaline. We've gone up in price again. You won't normally find either of these two stones polished tumbled, by the way. You will sometimes find the pink in spheres, which is always with quartz or hearts. The green you will usually find in this form here, the bar form, with or without quartz. So green tourmaline is a really amazing healing stone, both physical and emotional healing. So here we've got our emotional healing, here we've got emotional and physical healing. It is another heart chakra stone, and working together, these two come at it from a different angle, so they're a really good pairing to have. If you want to work with earth energies, this stone really does embody that. It embodies Mother Earth, Gaia energies, getting in touch with the roots, the ground, the soil. If you're planning to create a magical garden or do any kind of gardening and get in touch with the plants, work with green tourmaline. If you're going to go and meditate outside, green tourmaline. Really wonderful nature connective stone. Going on a woodland walk, take your green tourmaline with you. It's also a stone of courage. So it's courage in moving forward in the areas of emotional and physical healing, heart healing, physical healing. So again, this is why it pairs so well with the pink and with the black, is because you're covering different areas. Most of the tourmalines work in synergy really, really well, which is why you can get these mixed bracelets of tourmaline. They're a really good option to have if you want to actually wear it. So again, this is great for new projects and experiencing things in new ways. This is not just experiencing in new ways in the same way as the pink. This is also a blessing on new projects, such as starting a new business, starting a new job. You can also use green tourmaline in abundance magic, success magic, and prosperity magic, because again, it's the green ray of stones, and the green ray we use for those things. So there's such a beautiful synergy between the three types of tourmaline that we have here. So if you can, over time, collect the different colours, they work beautifully together and can cover pretty much most crystal energies. So if tourmaline speaks to you, collecting the colours may be really helpful start to your collection. So I think that's it really. Like I say, I absolutely love tourmaline. It's extremely versatile, extremely powerful, and truly a magnificent stone in whichever colour you choose to work with it. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you haven't already, please come over and like my Facebook page and join the Facebook group. In the Facebook group, we have all sorts of discounts, card pulls. I record meditations that are hidden on YouTube that only people in the group can access. Pop over to the website, which is www.goddess-enchantments.co.uk. There's a book of shadows there with lots of free information on crystals and ritual and intention setting, as well as all my beautiful handmade products that I make to enhance your ritual and magical workings. So that's it from me. Have a wonderful day. Blessed be.